glad that I got to talk to you. I was
Yeah,
very worried
I'm
about.
happy. Yeah, I was kind of worried about me too.
So how long were you in the hospital?
Oh, about a week. Let's say 2.5 weeks.
So what? Did you just start feeling weird and you had a heart? I mean, what were you doing something or what
No,
happened?
I had a heart attack in Las Vegas,
Oh my
and they put
gosh!
me in the hospital for a couple of days after the heart attack. And then I came to northern Arizona, and I had a stroke. And they found me in the yard, laying on my back, laying in the yard. And so the people I live with, called 911, and they came out. The ambulance boys came out, and they picked me up, got me up, put me on a roller, and rolled me out to the ambulance and take me to the hospital. And I was just about out of it. I mean, I couldn't tell where I was or what was going on. What was going on. And so I lived through it all. I lived through that stroke, and it caused my balance to go off. I couldn't walk straight. I couldn't be balanced. But finally, my balance is coming back now. I'm finally able to get up and walk, and my balance is all right. And so that's where I am now. I'm just trying to get my life back together, and I'm going back to Los Angeles.
To Los Angeles for what? To live or to what?
Yeah, to live, because I think it would be better for me professionally to be in Los Angeles.
How about your health? I mean, you look like you're doing pretty good. I mean, for
Well,
all things
I
considered.
feel all right. Yeah, my balance was the only thing that was affected by the stroke, but I've got my balance back now. Now I'm okay. I can walk and balanced.
Well,
But
what can I do for you? How can I help you?
I think it would be nice if I did a show with you.
Well, I'd love to do a show with you. I mean, gosh almighty, anytime. You kidding me?
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun thing to do.
And you want to do it about Reformation, about comparing first century Christianity to Christianity today?
Yeah, right.
I would like that. I think that would be fascinating.
Yeah, because most people have no idea in the world what was going on in the first 100 years of Christianity.
Well, like one or two, what's something that just jumps out at you about it? If somebody says that, what's something that just jumps out to you?
Jesus said in the scriptures, Jesus said, I am the light and the truth. I am the way, W-A-Y. I am the way, the truth, and the light. The very word way, W-A-Y, is translated horoscope,
The
implying that
way, the way
is the
in
way of the zodiac.
the stars, the way in
Yeah, the way of the stars. And that's why it's a Star Wars. Indiana Jones is Star Wars. Because there's a war going on in the heavens for the control of the earth. And we are right now in the middle of that catastrophe that's happening. And I got a feeling that something's going to happen to the whole world of mankind in September or October that's going to shake the roots of all human beings on the earth. It's going to
why
be
do you
like
say
9/11. It's going to be like 9/11 for New York. I mean, it was a big wake-up call for New York.
why
But
do you
I
say
think
that?
what's coming,
Why do you say that?
because my astrologer friend, who has been correct on everything he's ever told me, he does the astrology the way Nostradamus did it. And he said that in September, the whole earth will move into Scorpio. And and what does he call it? The god of Scorpio is Mars.
War.
Mars is the god of war, and we're moving into Scorpio. And he said, mark my words, something is going to happen very, very big on the earth, because the whole earth is going to move into Scorpio. Scorpions are deadly, and the god of Scorpio is Mars. So we're talking about some kind of a deadly war going on, some sort of an incredible deadly war. It might be the United States enters into a nuclear war, or somebody enters it, gets us into a nuclear conflict, or it could be that the sun is going to blank out all electricity, or perhaps there will be a comet that's going to hit the Earth. I believe there's going to be something very, very big happen to the Earth itself. It's going to be like 9/11 happening to New York, but it's going to be very big happening to the whole Earth at one time in September and October. I don't know what it is, but I just know my astrologer friend has never been wrong. Every time he tells me something, he's exactly right on. And
like possibly a suitcase nuke going off in L.A. or New York or something, or Iran attacking Iran, or
something very, very big that's going to affect the whole Earth. Everybody on the Earth is going to be affected, no matter how small and how tiny. Everybody on the Earth is going to see an effect of what's coming. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it's going to be. But I just feel it's going to be very, very big. And it's going to be in September and October. So we'll see.
Wow.
We will see. Yeah, we will see.
Have you been following? Have you been following this? This whole mask. Of course, you've been hearing about the masks. Hydroxychloroquine. You've been seeing that debate with the doctors and all that.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of that stuff.
Well, the reason I brought that up to you is because it seems like their actions have now created an army of people who won't believe any of their bullshit anymore.
I know.
I mean, it's like, well, what do you mean? You want to push this Remdesivir or whatever, that $5,000 a month drug, but I can't have a 25-cent hydroxychloroquine? I don't believe anything you say. So the reason I say that is because it's almost, I don't know what percentage of the population is. They're going on Facebook. The video of the doctors is getting taken down every time they put it up. I mean, I went on my wife's Facebook, and people are saying, "What is this bullshit? What is this?" Every time I try to watch this video, they're trying to tell me I can't watch this video. What is this bullshit? They're mad. And the reason I say that, piggyback on what you said, this virus, unless people are going to start dropping left and right, it is not, the effect of that is going to be over. And in fact, it's worse than over because it's making them look like fools.
Yeah.
So they need something else.
Because the business of America is business. And now the government is telling everybody to stay home, wear a mask, and shut your mouth and don't ask questions. So it's got to be affecting every 24 hours. The whole economy of America is going under. The entire economy. Everyone's home wearing a mask. Why? Because something very, very big is going on.
What big and you mean like the whole economy? They need it to blame. They're blaming the economic downturn on this virus, and really it's all going underneath. Or well, like what? What do you mean?
Well, I think that some sort of a basic calamity is going to happen when the people find out that the government is broke and has no money, so it can't send out any money, and that this whole idea of staying home with your mask on is a plot just to keep everybody home, away from work, because as long as America is money, and money makes America what it is. But if we don't go to work and we're not paying our bills, then nothing's going to work, and it's going to get worse every hour on the hour. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse until everybody is finally broke. And then the masters who have decided to do this are going to be in a position to come in and take over and take charge of the whole country of the United States, and we've lost everything, lost it all.
Do you think they'll be able to do it?
Say it again?
Do you think they'll be able to do it? Because I think there's some inflection points here that they have problems with. They're going to have some problems.
They're
I
going to have some big problems. That's going to be very big. But, when the United States gets a cold, everybody else gets TB.
yeah.
And so if we begin to falter on our economy and begin to falter, the whole world is depending on us. We are the typical Roman Empire. That's why New York is called the Empire State, because it's the new Roman Empire. Caesar wanted to rule the whole world. He believed that God put him in a position to rule the world. Well, and so what was he doing? He was ruling all of Europe from England when he went into Britannia. And where was he ruling from? And what city was he ruling England from? He was ruling from York, England. Well, we have a New York. It's a New England, a New York. And New York is called the Empire State because it's the center for the Roman Empire. And he wanted to collect all the nations together under him. Well, that's what we've done here in New York. We have a United Nations. The UN is the Roman Empire, unbelievable Roman Empire right in your face. He wanted to control the world where the United Nations controls the world in New York.
What do you make of, you mentioned, when you first started talking, you mentioned first century Christianity. Tell me a little bit about that and how that plays out right now. How does that fit into all this?
The original Christianity was astrological, purely astrological. And nobody knows that today. It's been lost.
Meaning the story of mankind, the story of God was projected into the stars.
Exactly, correct.
Okay. Go.
Yeah. But today we don't know that. Today we believe. We believe things, but we don't know anything. We believe. And so the church has taught us to believe, but we don't know God. We don't know how God is running his universe. We don't know anything. We believe we are in relation to God, but believing is not good enough. The government that we live under does not buy anybody's beliefs. They want to know for damn sure. And so that's what we should be doing, is knowing for sure. Well, when you read that Jesus said, I am the way, the very word way, W-A-Y, was a word for the zodiac in the Roman Empire. And then we're talking about all the signs in the heavens. Yeah, the zodiacal signs in the heavens. And that's why it's a particular interest to me. What's going on right now on the earth is something very, very big in relation to the astrological signs in the heavens. I do believe that something is going to happen to the earth that's going to cause all of us to be frightened and woken up to the real problems in the universe that God is in control of. And we're going to wake up and find out we didn't have the truth. We had no connection to truth at all. The real truth is that the 12 apostles were the 12 signs of the zodiac. There's all kinds of other things that, this whole idea of the Star Wars, the wars going on in stars. Yeah, there is a Star Wars. And in Revelation, it says that there will come a time when there'll be a new heavens and a new earth. And the former things have passed away. That's true. There's going to be a new heavens and a new earth. Because the new heavens is the age of Aquarius, the new heavens. And it will cause a new earth to exist. Everything's going to be changed, whether we like it or not. The whole world is going to change. And that's because somebody else is in charge.
I got a friend of mine who, off air, she'll tell me, about the cycles that's already happened on this earth and the destructions that come, and it comes around and it just keeps repeating itself, and all these earth changes are coming, and it's going to come very quickly. Is that kind of similar to what you're saying, these earth changes?
Yes. Yeah. I think that's something. I think there's something to that. Yes. And I think it would be great, because I am now back on my feet and I'm going back to Los Angeles to do radio. And I've been asked to do my own show on Sirius Radio Network. They've asked me if I would like to do my own show on the network. I told them, yeah. So they said, well, it will be on the old Art Bell show. I'm going to take over for Art Bell and do a show, on the Art Bell network.
What's the most important thing people can know right now, or need to know?
I think they need to understand the connection between Almighty God and the zodiac. And what do the signs of the zodiac tell us about what's going on right now? Because obviously we are at a particular time in history where the world is changing.
Okay,
the whole world is changing. And what it's changing to is because there's an age of Aquarius coming. And the Bible uses the term age, A-G-E. Age is not the world. Age, A-G-E, means a period of time. So there's a new age coming. Well, the new age, the other old age we're in is Pisces. But there's a new age coming, and the new age is Aquarius. And today the church is saying, oh, it's a bunch of bull, and don't have nothing to do with that astrology. That's exactly what the Jews, the Bible says, were telling Moses when he came down from the mountain and saw the people worshiping God as a golden calf. The golden calf was Taurus, the calf, the bull, and a calf, and the golden was the sun. So the golden calf was the sun in the age of Taurus. And he came down and said, God has said there's a whole new religion coming for the earth, and you're going to have to get used to it. It's going to be called Aquarius, and they're going to be blowing a ram's horn, and not this golden bull anymore. That's why it was all a bunch of bull. And so the new age brought in the blowing of the ram's horn, the shofar. Today the Jews blow the shofar. Yeah, that's Aquarius, the age of the ram, Aquarius. But now where are we going? We're going into the age of Aquarius, the age of water. And so that's why I'm saying this is the most important thing for people to understand, that what's happening to the earth is not a mankind doing it, it's God doing it. It's the great spirit in the universe doing it.
Doing it why? To prepare us, to bring us along, to raise our consciousness, to do what?
I'm not really sure what the divine has in mind. But I am sure that whatever is happening to the earth is happening to the earth by the one who has created it. We are now going through some terrible tragedies on the earth, and the whole vision of government and the way the world works is going to be changed forever. With the coming of the age of Aquarius, you're not going to have any more, because the mere fact that we have in churches today a man on the cross, that's Aquarius. That's not Aquarius. That's Aquarius is coming. But that's, what is the age we're in now?
Pisces.
Pisces. Pisces is the age of religion. And we know that for the first 600 years of Christianity, there was no pictures and no drawings, no paintings, no nothing of a man hanging on a cross. There was no pictures anywhere on the earth of a man hanging on the cross. There was no man on a cross. for 600 years. That was decided 600 years after Christianity was developed in the Roman Empire. And so that being the case, we know that there was no man hanging on a cross in Christianity. It was astrological. Why? Because when Israel was building a new wing on their prison, and in Israel they were building a new wing on the prison, and it was in what was the name of that area where they were building the new prison? Megiddo. There was a new prison in Megiddo, and they were digging down to lay the foundations, and they hit a floor. And after looking at it and examining it, Israel, the state of Israel, said it was the oldest Christian church in the whole world. It was the very first oldest Christian establishment on the earth. So England and America went in, and they agreed with Israel. They agreed it was the oldest Christian establishment on the earth. Well, if you go on the web, you will see what the floor had on it. The floor had the symbols of the 12 signs of the zodiac, and in the middle were the two fish of Pisces. That's the oldest foundation for Christianity in the world, was Pisces. Jesus is called the great fisherman. And that's why, because the fish were the symbols of Pisces. And that's why we have
this new coming age. How will life be different? And are we in it right now? Is there a certain date it comes by, or does it transition into it, or how does that work?
Yeah, we're in the transition right now. We're getting ready to go into the new age of Aquarius, but not for another 150 years. It's probably going to be about 200 years before we're officially in the age of Aquarius. And when we are, nobody is going to remember what it was like during our time that we're living, unless we live through it to remember. Most people are not going to remember what it was like in 2020. They're not going to remember. And so they will have a whole brand new religion based on water, on the water pitcher. Jesus said in Luke 22:10, when the apostles asked him, now that you're going to die, where are we going to go? And Jesus, calling himself God's son, we call him God's son. That's German. The Germans call that globe that comes up in the morning S-O-N, not S-U-N. English, Anglo-Saxons spell it S-U-N. The Germans spell it S-O-N. And so who owns the sun? Well, God owns the sun. S-O-N is the same as S-U-N. And so that's why Jesus said that, he is we call Jesus the light of the world. Of course, the S-U-N is the light of the world. Or the S-O-N in German is the light of the world. So I'm thinking that we humans on the earth are slowly but surely being spoon-fed and led into a new world order, which God is behind. And the astrological signs indicate that the divine presence is behind this whole thing that's happening. It wouldn't be happening unto the earth, to the whole earth, unless God was involved. So something is happening with us right now, that we are involved in the transitioning from the age of the two fish to the age of Pisces to the new age coming. And that's why everybody wants to complain about the new age. But that's what Moses was talking about, the new age. He said, no more golden calf, the sun in the age of Taurus. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to have a whole new religion, completely brand new. And they said, well, what's going to be the symbol? A shofar, a horn. You have to blow the horn because that's the horn of Aries, the ram. You blow the ram's horn. And so that's good. And so eventually that's what the Jews did. They ended up taking the ram's horn. Nobody knew for sure. They just did. They just did what was normal. And so they ended up taking the ram's horn, representing the age of Aries. And
And then
today,
so then Pisces is when the age of Christianity and Jesus came to the earth. That was Pisces then.
that was Pisces, the two fish. Remember, he's fed the audience, he fed the crowd with two fish. The scripture says he fed the audience, he fed his followers with two fish. Why did it say two fish? And why is it when you look in Christian books on the Christian story of Jesus with the two fish are always going in opposite direction? And why is it that the floor of the oldest Christian establishment on the earth in Israel, Megiddo, Israel, had on the floor the two fish of Pisces and the 12 signs around it? It's because, yeah, because Christianity was astrological from day one. Well, you ask an 8-year-old child, where is God? God is up there. Well, what is up there? What do we call that up there? We call it heaven. Well, God's in heaven. Well, that's true. God's in heaven. And so, who owns the sun? Well, maybe if you're religious, you might say God owns the sun. Well, then it's God's son, and he's the light of the world. Well, of course he's the light of the world. The sun has always been the light of the world.
Well, the other side of this is the argument that everything you're saying, let's say everything that you're mentioning is true, then it's all a metaphor for a great religious experience that is happening inside of each one of us. This is a
Yes,
metaphor for like the resurrection is not, these aren't external things, these are internal things. The crucifixion, where is the crucifixion? The divinity of God has been crucified in each one of us. And now is just awaiting to be resurrected, awaiting to be rediscovered. So this play that we see out there is really a metaphor, an allegory, or whatever, to try to get us to understand the play within ourselves.
that's what I've said so often on radio myself. The whole thing is a metaphor. It's a symbolic story going back to the very first days of Christianity based on astrology, based on the chosen 12. Jesus had 12 apostles. There were 12 signs of the zodiac. There were 12 brothers of Joseph, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 major prophets of Israel, the 12 this, the 12 that. The Bible is filled with 12. Why? It's because of the 12 signs of the zodiac.
Why?
That's
Why? See, people when they hear you say that, they think that you don't believe in Christianity, or you're not Christian, or you don't respect it, or they see that as disrespectful. But I don't think that's what you
why.
mean at all.
I'll tell you why. Because in history, we know that the Romans called the original Christians atheists. That was a term the Romans gave to the original Christian, and that's why they killed them in the arenas. They called them atheists. Because why? Because they don't accept the Roman idea of God. They don't accept the Roman world religion. The Christians knew better. They were Gnostics. Gnosticism is a basis for Christianity.
How would
That's
you
why
define Gnostic? What does Gnostic even mean? How would you define that?
I would say that Gnostic is a Greek word from the ancient Greek word which meant to know, not to believe. It's much better to know something than to believe it.
Absolutely.